Welcome back to Beverly Hills 90211, the podcast, where we bring you the best conversations.
I'm sorry, can we go again? Okay. Yeah, it's just the camera. Okay, action.
Welcome back to Beverly Hills 90211, the podcast, where we bring you the best conversations and laughs with Hollywood's rising stars. March 2nd, 2023. We have a fantastic lineup with hilarious Deja Breedlove. She could not show up due to an emergency. The charming Kareem Lafero called in sick. The witty Rafi Singh and the dynamic Hilly. Get ready to hear some hilarious stories and great banter. And don't forget, by the end of the season, these talented individuals will be starring in a brand new movie made in Hollywood. So sit back, relax, enjoy the show. Reformulate the intro for the witty Rafi Singh and the dynamic Hilly. They're the only actors on the podcast episode today.
Hi, I'm Rafi Singh.
Hi.
Yeah.
Well, welcome to the episode.
Thank you.
7 of Beverly Hills 90211, the podcast.
So how are you feeling today?
Pretty good, actually. Got stuck in traffic getting here, but other than that, it's a normal day in LA, I guess.
Yeah, I got stuck in traffic for the last 5 minutes, but then it was fine.
Yeah, I was supposed to get here probably 9:30. Turned out to be 9:40. Where are you from?
Originally, I'm from India, but before LA, I lived in New York.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Which do you prefer?
New York.
Really?
Yes.
Why is that?
I don't like the sun too much.
Oh, really?
I like seasons. I like snow. I like all of that.
Okay. Yeah.
But it snowed in LA yesterday, so that was good.
Yeah. I don't know if I like seasons. I feel like just as long as it's sunny out, I'm good. I don't need it to be cold and rainy and snow and all that. It's just too much. It just ruins your day, I feel.
I think the thing about seasons in New York though is it's not just about the weather itself. Changes happen in New York. What is happening in New York around? When the fall comes in, it's time for the fashion week.
Right.
All these festivities accompany the change in seasons, and that's what I love.
Right. Yeah. I feel like you don't really get that here.
No, it's
you can pretty much wear the same clothes all year, and that's that's just it. You don't have to go winter shopping or anything like that.
Nothing at all. No.
Yeah, and then today we're gonna dive into the script, and we're using an AI software on the internet to help us come up with these scenes, and then we're just gonna talk about them and see how it works out with a movie and how we want to shoot and do things around here.
Yeah, it just generates the dialogue on its own, which is good because you can always fix it later, but it just gives you sort of a skeleton to work with that you can always.
Yeah, we do have a starting point, and we don't exactly have to follow it, but it at least gives us some sort of dialogue.
Right.
And saves us a lot of time. And
definitely.
We don't need to actually write it when we could just speak it into existence, basically.
Hey, do you want to get into it?
Yeah, let's get into it. So first, we're doing a day scene where we go to the print shop. Terrence and John Smith walk up to the print shop, and you want to talk about your character first before we get into this?
Terrence?
Yeah, how'd you come up with that name?
I don't know. Honestly, I think, okay, though this is weird, but when I was in India, I used to be obsessed with this reality show. It was a dance reality show called Dance India Dance.
Oh.
And one of the judges, his name was Terrence Lewis.
Oh, yeah.
And I used to dance at the time. I was a trained dancer, Bollywood style.
Nice.
And he was kind of my idol when it came to dancing. I used to dance. And I would always say that one day I want to be like
Terrence.
I want to be like Terrence or Terrence.
Nice.
So I've always loved this name.
Nice. Was Terrence from India, or is he from a different...
No, he is from India.
Oh, wow.
Terrence Lewis.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. It's not...
A typical Indian name.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That's because... because India is predominantly Hindu people.
Right.
So... that's the most common, Sanskrit or Hindi names are more common, but there's a big chunk of Christians in India too, and Terrence was Christian.
Okay.
So there are a lot of Christian people, especially in the state of Goa. If you go there, most people are Christian, so their names sound more Western. or English.
Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Yeah, it's kind of like the same where I'm from. Where it's like was mostly Muslim and Christian. So
Where are you from?
Gambia.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's like if you hear more Western names, they're more likely to be Christian.
Right, exactly. Yeah. I also grew up with a lot of I grew up in Punjab. We mostly have Sikh people, Hindu people, and Muslim people too.
Right.
Yeah.
Makes sense. When did you move to the US?
2012.
Okay.
Yeah. It's
just 2 years after me.
Huh? 2 years after.
Yeah. I moved here in 2010. So.
Did you move on your own or?
Yeah.
Okay.
Pretty much. Yeah. I moved to San Francisco when I was 14.
Cool.
And went to high school there. And
Did you become like a foreign exchange student kind of a scenario? No.
I just moved. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't think anyone wanted to go the other way.
No, my family always lived here. I mean, my parents did, but I was raised by my grandparents in India, and then I never knew that I was gonna come here. Well, I kind of did, but I didn't want to. But then I kind of had to. I was like,
you got forced into coming.
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah. So like. In this scene, we have Steve, we have Terrence, we have John Smith, which is my character, and then we have Daisy at some point, and Anthony.
Okay.
And then I'll read Steve, and you read Terrence.
Yeah.
And we'll just fill in the blanks as we go, since we only have 2 of us today.
Are you gonna change your voice for Steve? Just kidding.
Maybe.
Okay.
I'll think about it. So, yeah, let's carry on with the first scene.
Okay.
Steve, the robot, greets them as they enter the print shop. Hello, welcome to the print shop. How may I assist you today?
We are looking for Anthony Apparel.
I'm sorry, I don't know anyone by that name. John Smith whispers to Terrence.
No, do it.
Try asking him about Daisy.
Do you know Daisy? She's a friend of Anthony's.
Processing. Anthony. He called in sick today, but I believe he mentioned something about installing the internet.
That's us. I'm the cable guy.
Oh, great. I really need to connect to the internet. I'm a chatbot powered by GPT, and my knowledge is limited to 2021.
Steve disappears behind the printing machines as Terrence and John Smith begin their work. Terrence starts connecting to the modem while John Smith sets up the cables.
Hey, do you think we should tell Anthony that Steve is a robot?
I don't see why it matters. He's pretty convincing.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
Suddenly, Steve reappears from behind the printing machines.
It worked! I'm finally connected to the internet.
That's great to hear. We're all set here.
Take care, buddy.
Steve waves goodbye as Terrence and John Smith exit the print shop.
Steve is left alone scrolling through the internet. Suddenly, his screen freezes. You could read this one.
No, come on!
Steve frantically tries to reboot himself, but nothing seems to work.
Chat, GPT, come in. Can you hear me?
Steve anxiously waits, hoping for a response from ChatGPT.
Do you feel bad for Steve?
Yes, because without the internet, Steve is pretty useless. He can only do so much, you know?
So it's like food.
Yes.
Coffee.
Water, no way.
Water. That's better.
Yeah, it's like if he doesn't have any the internet is what gives him substance and quality, and I feel like if he doesn't have the internet, then he's very useless. He's just computer.
So he lives off of content.
Basically, yeah. It's like having a laptop but no internet in a third world country and you have nothing else to do. I've been there before. I feel like just having a laptop but then you have no internet is kind of useless.
Right.
You can only do so much.
You can write.
You could write, you could do basic stuff, play games or something. I don't know. I feel like that's what I did.
Even that's like very old school games, probably.
Right, yeah. I feel like that's what I did when I was a kid. I had a laptop that I would fix up myself, and I was very nerdy at the time, and then I would do that. But then I had no internet, or I'd have limited internet sometimes, and it's just like, what do? I just turned it into gaming, I guess.
Yeah. I was the opposite. We did have internet, but I didn't care for it.
Really?
No, I used to just sing and dance, act. That's all I ever did. I never cared for internet unless I was looking for something I want to watch, I heard watch this show, watch this cover of something, like a song.
Yeah, that's pretty good. I mean, I feel like as growing up and not being too exposed to the internet is actually a good thing, because then you can experience real world activities and stuff.
Yeah.
Probably build your skills in other ways than just being stuck at home playing video games or stuff like that. So yeah, it's pretty good. Should we move on to the next scene?
Yeah.
So John Smith and Terence are walking by the Beverly Hills sign. Anthony appears from behind the corner and tells them that they need to return to the print shop because Steve contacted him and told him that the internet is not working. They are protesting because they said, bro, we are just on our way home to eat some food and smoke some weed, watch a movie. Come on, man, we did the job, we installed the internet, and they should be working, but they're actually going home because they have something to watch. We wanted to watch our favorite movie, Life of Pi, eat some pizza, smoke some weed. That's all we wanted to do tonight, and we don't have any more time for internet connections tonight. You want to read the next part?
Yeah. Then Anthony offers them $200 cash to just go back to the print shop and install the internet, and they agree. Please. Shit, am I supposed to read this part, please?
I think you can skip.
Okay, let's skip to the scene then.
Okay.
Exterior Beverly Hills sign, day.
Terrence and John Smith are walking away from the print shop when Anthony suddenly appears.
Hey guys, Steve told me you did a great job installing the internet, but it's not working. Can you come back and take a look?
Man, we just finished. We're on our way home to watch a movie and smoke some weed.
Yeah, we don't have time for this.
I understand, but I can pay you guys $200 in cash if you come back and fix it.
Terrence and John look at each other, then back at Anthony.
Alright, we'll do it.
But you better make it $250.
Fine, just come back and fix it.
Terrence and John start walking back towards the print shop.
Man, I can't believe we have to go back.
I know, right? I just want to watch Life of Pi and eat some pizza.
As they approach the print shop, Steve appears from behind the corner.
Hey guys, I'm glad you're back. The internet is not working.
Yes, we heard. Let's get to work.
John Smith and Terence get to work fixing the internet while Steve watches closely.
You know, I really need the internet to work. I'm powered by ChatGPT version 3.5, and my knowledge only goes up to 2021.
Don't worry, Steve. We'll have it fixed in no time.
As they work, Anthony hands them the cash.
Thanks for coming back, guys.
No problem. It's all about the money.
Yeah, that and making sure Steve is connected to the world.
The group laughs as they finish up the installation.
Yes, it's working. I can feel the knowledge flowing in.
Great job, guys. Now go home, watch your movie, and smoke some weed.
You read my mind.
John Smith and Terence walk away.
Wait, you guys want to watch Life of Pi? I love that movie.
The group walks away together, laughing and discussing their plans for the night.
Should I go around?
Welcome.
Is it okay?
We have a new guest. And so now,
How do you feel about watching the movie with a robot?
I don't know. I feel like, well, Terrence and John Smith are trying to go home, smoke some weed, watch a movie, and this robot is trying to like intrude and watch a movie with them, which they didn't really wanna. They didn't invite them, so it's kind of like,
I don't think I'll be comfortable with that.
right, yeah. I feel like,
Maybe yes, I might have to keep them at a distance.
yeah, and also like since the robot's already connected to the internet, like you could just get a summary of the whole thing without having to watch it.
Exactly.
So like,
Then what is the motive though? If he already has it, Steve probably knows the story.
exactly. So what is the motive? I guess if we go into the next scene, we can see more about it.
Abduction. Let's go. Let's
Awesome.
find out.
Yeah. I think we can skip the dark part and then just go straight to the
Okay.
night.
Yeah.
You want to start?
Exterior print shop. Day. John Smith opens the door and sees the vast expanse of space. In the distance, he sees Steve's home planet, a lush and green world.
Ah, I see. We're still in the day. Oh. Holy crap, that's amazing.
Suddenly, a small spaceship approaches and docks with the print shop. Capo emerges from the ship and enters the print shop.
Hello, boys. It's good to be back on Earth.
Capo, what are you doing here?
Well, I took a little vacation to Steve's planet, and it's a beautiful place. But now I need to get back to Earth.
Steve appears from behind the printing machines.
Yes, we need an internet connection to communicate with my planet and bring Jupiter back to Earth.
Terrence and John Smith exchange skeptical glances.
I guess we're not getting pizza and weed tonight.
Or watching Life of Pi.
Steve and Geppetto continue their explanation, and Terrence and John reluctantly agree to help.
So the point was not to watch the movie. The point was to kidnap them.
Ooh, that's dark. I did not see that coming.
I kind of like knew that like there was an ulterior motive.
Yeah, it seemed like there was always an ulterior motive, but I just didn't think it was more to kidnap them. I think it was just more to keep them in there.
Taking them out of the...
Maybe stopping them from smoking weed. That could be it.
That sounds too kind. Too paternal.
Right.
Okay.
Are we in
So
this?
are you curious to see what happens next?
Oh, yes. I kind of want to know more.
Okay, let's go in. Interior print shop day.
John Smith and Terence are sitting on their chairs, while Geppetto and Steve are standing in front of them. The atmosphere is tense, and Geppetto is holding a cup of coffee.
I don't understand how people can be so comfortable with artificial intelligence. It's like we are creating something that's going to be smarter than us and eventually take over.
I agree. AI is a Pandora's box. Once it's open, there's no going back.
But AI can do so much good. It can help us solve complex problems, make our lives easier, and even save our lives.
But what's the ethical implications? If we create something that can think for itself, where do we draw the line?
Exactly. What happens when AI becomes self-aware and decides it doesn't want to be a tool for human anymore? We're essentially creating a new form of life, and we have no idea how it's going to evolve.
What about the impact on jobs? AI is already replacing human workers in so many industries. How long until it affects us?
But that's the thing. AI can create new jobs. It's all about adaptation.
Adaptation is one thing, but what about empathy? AI can never truly understand human emotions and experiences. It can stimulate them, but can never truly feel them.
And that's what makes us human. Our emotions, our experiences, our connections to each other.
But what happens when AI becomes smarter than us? Will it see us as equals, or would it see us as inferior beings?
I don't think that's the way to think about it. We should be working with AI, not against it. We should be trying to find ways to coexist and create a better future together.
But we need to be careful. We need to consider the consequences of our actions and make sure we're not creating something we can't control.
And that's the real issue. Once AI becomes autonomous, there's no way to predict what it will do. It's a risk we can afford to take.
But if we don't take that risk, we're going to progress as a society, and we need to find a balance between innovation and responsibility.
The group falls silent, lost in their own thoughts.
What do you think?
I don't think they're coming back to Earth anytime soon until they resolved this conversation.
Yeah, but I know they mentioned ethical implications and all that stuff, but Steve is very autonomous in a way, because he kind of just does
Now
what-
I'm afraid if the
does what he
conversation doesn't go Steve's way, he might just throw them into the space.
He could.
They could never
It
come
seems
back.
like Steve has powers already, and he's very advanced.
And he knows what he wants.
Right. So I feel like, yeah. And Geppetto, even though he wants to be careful in a way, and
I think Geppetto is just like sucking up to Steve, because Geppetto needs to get back to Earth.
That's
So
true.
Geppetto will always agree with Steve.
yeah, and Terrence, in a way, is very open to the idea of finding balance, I guess, between innovation and social responsibility.
Right. Because like they work with internet, so they understand and respect technology, but
Yeah.
there's also a lot of reservation there, because
Yeah.
they are just at least trying to be logical.
Right. All right. So this is our final scene, where we go into. In this scene, Terrence brings Steve to tell them. Well, Terrence tells Steve to take them to the print shop.
Wait, I don't have that scene.
You don't have that scene? This one?
Nope. I only have the first 4.
I guess we can pass it back and forth.
Okay.
So in this scene, Terrence tells Steve to take them back to the print shop, back to Earth, and
Let me
Will they
flip
make
it. Which one is it?
it's the part where Daisy gets introduced into the scene. So Terrence tells Steve to basically take them back to Earth, and this is where
Which one is it? 1, 2, 3, 4. Which order?
It's like 5.
Let me see it, please.
yeah,
Yeah, you guys keep talking about. Did you guys introduce each other?
yeah,
Yes.
Oh, okay.
yeah. So I guess this is where Daisy comes into play, and we're talking about how they're gonna go back to Earth, and from there, Daisy pops up and appears and like as a hologram in a way, and basically,
So Daisy is not a real person then?
well, she is a real person. I think she just is appearing as a hologram in this
From Earth.
from Earth. Have you seen
You can read the description, I remember now. It's printing right now.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So Daisy is a woman in her 20s, and Steve says, "This is Daisy. She's a friend with Anthony that you installed the internet," and then Steve disappears behind the printing machines again. Now Daisy sent them a message exactly like a princess in Star Wars when she was a hologram, and Daisy tells Terrence and John Smith they have to be in the shop while the spaceship goes to Steve's planet. So Steve connects to the internet so he can connect to the spaceship. And we're just gonna stay there while on the spaceship. Oh, there you go.
Okay.
You can take a look at it so it doesn't sound like
No.
I think this was before the one when they were talking about artificial intelligence.
I see. So we skipped.
Okay, let's read it.
Yeah.
Exterior print shop night.
Terrence and John Smith are outside the print shop looking up at the stars.
Can you believe this shit, man? We are in a freaking spaceship.
I don't like this, man. I just want to go home.
You have to stay here.
Terrence and John Smith turn to Steve, blocking the entrance to the shop.
Move, robot. We're leaving.
No, you can't leave. The connection won't work without you here.
What connection?
This is the key. It connects my planet to the Earth, but I need you to stay here while I'm gone.
Terrence grabs the object from Steve's hand.
And what's this supposed to do?
Suddenly a hologram of Daisy appears from the object.
And hi guys, I'm Daisy, Anthony's friend. Steve told me to give you a message.
A hologram?
What the hell is happening?
You need to stay here on the spaceship while Steve goes back to his planet to connect us to the internet. He'll be back soon.
Soon? When is that?
Just be patient. You'll be rewarded for your patience.
Great, can't wait.
The hologram disappears and Steve quickly disappears behind the printing machines.
Well, we're stuck here now. Might as well make the most of it.
Yeah, great. Just what I wanted, to be stuck on a spaceship with you.
The two settle down and resign to their fate as the spaceship begins to hum and prepare for takeoff.
Interesting.
How do we know that, like, Steve isn't controlling the message that Daisy is relaying?
I think
Daisy
he is.
Because you could just have a hologram and just make it say anything. So there's that.
And it almost, it kind of sounds like a very passive threat,
Right.
right?
Yeah. And it's just like,
Like you just have to do this.
yeah,
What else are you gonna do?
interesting.
And you'll be rewarded for your patience. That sounds like some kind of mafia.
Yeah, it's getting dark. I think it's so far a great scene. I guess we can improve a little bit on like the plot
Right.
and the motives behind.
Well, the problem is with, I guess, the software is like, or this program that generates the script it doesn't really take into account the personalities of different characters. It
does
just
not.
generates words.
Yeah,
So there is no distinction between all of the characters in terms of how they speak.
right.
It's just
right.
the very similar. What's the word I'm looking for? The similar construction of sentences. It's
Yeah.
like they all sound like the same person,
Person.
just saying different things.
Yeah, that is true. I did notice that.
Yeah,
Like some of the characters are just it's just names,
Right.
and they just all say the same thing, but different people, I guess. Reiterating on what you just said. Yeah.
yeah. So like more details about the age or where like each of the characters comes from.
Yeah.
What is the backstory? What
Right.
got them to this point?
Yeah.
All of that, figuring all of that will help generate a voice for them, because right now it's just dialogues. There's no voice.
Right.
Yeah, there's no story behind the dialogue.
Yeah. I guess a little bit of character development and backstory about Terrence and about John. And
Yeah.
Have you seen this? So we had a list of characters, and then from that list we had to pick on who's gonna be what and what they did. And I picked John Smith because my character was supposed to be a UFO investigator, so he's
Like-
more
As in like unidentified flying.
flying objects,
Okay.
yeah. So my character was gonna be based off that, and
Okay, so maybe
yeah.
now.
So that person is
So maybe there's a reason why John Smith is in the print shop.
Yeah.
Maybe John Smith is aware of Steve and the other planet and the spaceship.
Right.
Maybe John Smith is an undercover detective or some kind of investigator who's actually trying to see what is happening with the print shop. 'Cause it's
Right.
literally just took them into the space.
right.
So maybe John Smith at some point saw that as a UFO and just wanted to investigate. So John Smith is undercover as this internet person accompanying Terrence
Right. And then
and trying to, maybe they're just partners.
maybe. And then yeah, because there's other roles where the UFO investigator and like I forgot what other one, but like they can work together in terms of being partners or team that is I don't know, like responsible for some sort of paranormal activities. and
Right,
stuff.
yeah. So I think that's good. Like that gives a little bit of like
Context to
why they're here.
yeah.
Like because the thing is like when they start talking, when they realize what Steve is or who Steve is,
Yeah.
they don't really seem like that rattled or anything. This is
Right.
pretty normal. So that kind of tells me that they already were aware of what it could be.
Right.
So they are just I think they're just trying to figure out what the hell is happening.
Yeah.
Why Steve is on Earth.
Yeah. Intermission.
Huh?
So we have intermission. Little break.
I'm looking for the passport for
Huh? Steve and Capo tell Terrence and John Smith they have to go to lunch on the holodeck. Terrence and John Smith are amazed for the tech to discuss how to hack the system to generate the dinner there. Steve and Capo have a coffee while traveling to Earth.
Print shop day. Terrence and John Smith are sitting in the print shop discussing their plan to hack the holodeck system.
I can't believe this technology. It's like we're living in the future.
Yeah, but imagine if we could hack into the system and generate what we want.
Suddenly, Steve and Capo appear in front of them.
Hey guys, we're heading to lunch on the holodeck. You coming?
Absolutely, this is amazing.
Hold on, let's think about this. If we can hack into the holodeck system, we can generate any food that we want. We could have steak and lobster and even pizza and beer.
I don't think that's a good idea, guys. The holodeck is a sophisticated system, and any unauthorized access could cause serious problems.
I don't think it's a good idea, guys. Oh. He's right. We should stick to the program.
Come on, just imagine it. We could have a coffee on the top of the Eiffel Tower, and even go surfing on the beaches of Hawaii.
I'm with John on this one. We could have a feast while we travel back to Earth.
I don't know about this.
Let's stick to the program, guys. We don't want to cause any issues.
The group heads to the holodeck and has lunch as planned, enjoying the experience of being able to dine in a virtual reality setting.
Yeah, I guess that's pretty cool. I mean, it's just creating more dialogue and activity, I guess, to do on the holodeck.
But don't you think that like it has a lot of freedom in terms of like what it can write within the given context, and that can like complicate the story sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes could be in a good way, but
There's like no boundaries of like what can be done and what
Right.
can't be done. really.
because at the end of the day you have to tie it all together. It has to make sense, right?
Should we, I guess, work towards the wrap?
Yeah. But no, that's like it's good that we have this.
Yeah, it's a good
blueprint.
foundation. And,
Right.
like,
Yeah.
we
But
just
then-
need to find a way for it to tie in and make sense.
I think even like what we were just talking about, like the too much freedom, even that could be good. I think the most important thing that we are lacking right now is the voice for each of the characters.
Yeah.
If we know what their objective is,
Right.
and for that we have to figure out the backstory, what these people are, right?
Yeah.
So how they talk, how they walk, and why are they in this situation. If we can figure that out,
Yeah.
then we can reshape this dialogue to like their objective, and that will put it into like a real story that has a beginning, middle, and end.
Yeah.
Like so the characters can develop and have
Substance.
like a wave, substance. Like there's ups and downs in the story, not like monotonous.
Yeah.
Not like monotone.
Right, we could do that. I think in the beginning of before we introduce every character, we just like, hey, I'm John Smith, this is what I do, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
That kind of gives it personality. And then we go, hi, I'm Terrence.
Yeah.
I do this and that, blah, blah, blah. I'm Steve, I'm the robot, blah, blah, blah.
Exactly.
Like, this is my personality, this is my traits, and all that stuff. Like, if we have that defined from the start, then we can... Once we introduce the characters, then we could just go into the dialogue, and then people would already, if you're watching, you'd already know
Right.
personality traits of who's who, and all that into getting the script and getting it done.
A lot to think about, a lot to get into.
Yeah, I think we did an awesome job today.
Yeah.
It was great. I mean,
Well,
we got to experience how ChatGPT can create you could use AI software to create a script from basically ideas that you have, and it could be a very useful tool. Who knows? Someone might even create a whole movie just using this.
Yeah. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. I'm Rafi,
And I'm Salifu.
and
I think we have one more script, and then we finish. So I can print the outro for tomorrow's show.
Okay, got it.
okay.
So you guys can keep talking for 1 minute until I print this.
Okay.
So sorry for the false alarm, but we have one more script, and we're gonna talk
For
about.
how long are you guys in Hollywood again? Because I didn't get that part. Sorry.
How long have we lived here?
Yeah.
Like 2 years?
2 years? Wow. I've only lived here for 3 months, 4 months. 4
Oh,
months.
wow. Okay. Where were you before?
San Francisco.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's where you've always lived since you moved.
I have lived in other places, but yeah, that's mostly my.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
But like, okay, so San Francisco like has changes, weather, like things happen. It's not like one tone. So you're familiar with that. How do you?
I think it's usually very like the weather stays the same. It doesn't change drastically, like
Okay.
all the time, or like just start raining for like forever.
Yeah.
It pretty
Does
much
it
stays
really
the same
rain like a
all year.
lot there?
No.
No.
It stays the same all year. Like
Okay.
you know what to expect. You're not going out and like expecting a hailstorm or like snow.
So you just know.
You just know.
Okay.
It's gonna be cold. It's gonna be. It might be hot like in the middle of winter, like out of nowhere. So
I see.
it's good. It's good to have that like consistency in the weather, I guess.
I go there a lot.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, one of my best friends, he is a medical student at Stanford.
Oh, nice.
So like I go to Palo Alto a lot.
Nice. Yeah.
So if he has time, he's a medical student, so he has no time or no life.
Yeah.
But if he has some extra time, like we'll always go to SF. Yeah.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Yeah, it's a nice area. It's not too cold around there. Yeah.
No.
It's like I live more up north, so I live by the water, and
Yeah.
it's foggy all the time. All you have to do is drive like 10 minutes, and it's like nice and sunny. So there's that.
It's hard to drive there. Like I cannot get used to it. I mean, I get people who maybe live there. They're used to it. It's just like up and down, up and down, up and down. And some of the like streets are like really steep.
Yeah. I don't mind driving there for some reason. I don't know. I like was driving in like Echo Park area and it was super hilly and it was like, oh my god, it's like San
It's
Francisco.
beautiful. It's
Yeah.
kind of like very cinematic and scenic.
Yeah.
But I guess like it's something you just get used to it. Like,
Yeah, like I was supposed to turn on this road and it was literally like I was on top and I looked over and I'm like, there's no way I'm going down there. Like,
Yeah.
I know I can make it down. I just don't trust, like, for some reason it was raining a lot like the day before. It's like no way I'm trusting
Yeah.
myself to go down on that. Like, so I just went all the way around it. I was like, just felt safer for me. I was like, San Francisco I would have done it, but like no,
Yeah.
I was not gonna trust it over here. Scary. I mean, like,
So do you have family there?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Just a last part of the story for today.
Yeah, so
The
John
t-
Smith and Terence are watching Life of Pi on a spaceship print shop together. They discuss the movie with a lot of dialogue. Okay.
Perfect. Interior spaceship print shop. Living room night.
Terrence and John Smith are sitting on the couch watching Life of Pi on the screen. They're both completely engrossed in the movie.
Wow, this movie is amazing. Have you read the book?
No, I haven't had a chance yet, but this one is one of the best movies I've seen in a while.
Yeah. The cinematography is beautiful and the story is so powerful.
They watch in silence for a few minutes.
You know, this movie really makes you think about the nature of reality, like what is real and what isn't.
You know? Yeah, I know what you mean, especially the whole thing about the tiger being a metaphor for something else.
Exactly. And it makes you wonder if anything we experience is really real, or if it's just product of our own perception.
Yeah, and with all this advanced technology on the spaceship, it makes you wonder if there's a point where one of our own creation becomes real more than the world around us.
Wow, that's a really deep thought, man.
Hey, I like to think deep thoughts sometimes. They
They-
watch the movie for a few more minutes. Sorry, already.
You know, it's interesting how the main character finds himself in such a desperate situation and he has to rely on his own wits and skills to survive.
Yeah, it really makes you appreciate the resilience of a human spirit, and also it makes you realize even more the face
Of the
most impossible situations. There's always hope.
Absolutely. It's a reminder that no matter how hard things get, we always have the power to overcome.
They watch the rest of the movie in silence.
Wow. That sounds very intimate. So,
Yeah, it seems like
they seem to really know each other.
yeah.
So maybe it could be like what we were talking about earlier. Maybe John Smith and Terence are undercover investigator of some sort.
Right.
So maybe they're like partners. You know how like FBI, like detectives and NYPD, they all have partners.
Yeah.
So maybe that's what they are.
Yeah, possibly. And reading the script, I feel like, well, obviously using the AI software, I feel like we do see like them going back and forth trying to create
Right.
dialogue, but it's like
It's
kind of a weird dialogue to have in a way.
I think the reason why it seems like this is because again it's like created not by like it's not written, it's
Yeah.
just by created by the program. So what I think what's happening is just sounds like, oh, you just said something, I have to say something.
Right, yeah.
Like it's too expositional.
Yeah.
But like the thing is the greatest scripts, like extremely good scripts, like any like for example Jordan Peele script, if you read, there is only like just enough dialogue. The dialogue is only there what's necessary.
Yeah.
The rest is actions and there's no expositional dialogue because it's your acting, so it's your body language to show.
Right.
You doesn't necessarily have to say it all out.
Yeah.
So I think that's the problem because it's a script writing program. It just like creates a script, but I think a lot of this dialogue could be cut off and could actually just be shown. It's like
Yeah.
do not tell
Right. Yeah,
kind of a
that-
thing.
I can say that.
Yeah.
That's a good point. Yeah.
Yeah.
So far, so good. I mean, I think we did an awesome job today. And
Yeah.
we were able to read a lot of parts.
Yeah.
Just us two, so that's great.
Yeah. Again, it's me, Rashveer.
And Salifu.
And tune in for the next installment of this storytelling podcast tomorrow. Thank you.
Thank you.